Hi, my name is Debbie Danford, and today I want to show you how to make a card using the Scrappy strip technique. First I want to show you a few samples. I've really had a lot of fun actually playing with this and using up scraps that I had left over from DSP and even cardstock you can add to it. Excuse me. So this first one is with the Parisian Blossoms DSP. And I used a smaller piece as my base here. It was another scrap I had cut. So I just went ahead and used that, laid my pieces out, and I left a gap on this one. This particular one, same paper, no gap, just butted them up. Just a different effect you get with it. This one here is the See a Silhouette DSP. Totally different look on a card, but man, doesn't that just pop out at you? This is the Tropical Oasis DSP, DSP, and then I used a piece of Mango Melody that I embossed with the Coastal Weave embossing folder and just did strips of the cardstock in between. Again, same thing here, just on a smaller scale. I had more pieces left over, so I decided to turn that one into another card too. I mean, like I said, this is just a great, easy way to take your scrap pieces and turn them into a really nice card. This one is with the new Ornate Garden DSP. I had made a card with both of these papers. Actually, it's one piece of paper, and I colored it with the alcohol markers, and then I had scraps left over, so I went ahead and turned that one into a card. And this is also with the Ornate Garden, and then the gold foil. And we are going to make this card today. Little different layers I did, but it's going to be very similar. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is cut your strips down, which I have already done here, but I'm going to show you anyway. You literally are only going to take whatever length you want based on the base piece you're going to put this on. And this was a scrap piece I had in my drawer, and I just pulled it out. Here, let's measure it really quick. It is 3.5 by 2 1/4. And it's actually a piece that had been die cut out of the center of a basic black piece with the stitched rectangle dies. So I could use doing that because I had so many shorter pieces. That's why I pulled that out. And you literally just cut these any different direction on an angle that you want. Just like that. Not hard at all. So then what we're going to do, and I'm going to work on a silicone mat because you're going to have, I've already pre-taped all these, but if you work on one of these wonderful silicone mats, you can just pull these right up and it's not going to stick to your paper. The first one you put down, you always want to make sure it has a flat edge to go up against the piece you're using. And you could line them all up at the bottom if you wanted, but I tend to let them hang off, and then I'm going to cut them all off after we're done. And again, when I do this one, I'm going to leave the gap. I like having the black show just that little bit of gap in between. For those of you that have either stamped with me, come to a class, or come to our Stampin' Palooza, or follow my blog, have probably seen that I like to use black as my layers a lot. I think it's just one of those that pops any color right up. I use basic black as my layer a lot, and I like to stamp on the shimmery white paper. It is my favorite to use. I use it for blending, watercolor, almost everything. I don't use Whisper White as much for stuff like that. Now this piece was longer, and I was going to save it for maybe the inside of the card, but I was running out of scrap pieces. So we'll use it. I didn't put tape on the whole thing, so we'll still be able to use the other end for something else if you wanted to make another card like this. I mean, you certainly could. right now we're in the middle of the lockdown. I'm in Washington State, Arlington, Washington, and we've been in lockdown for about a month. So for me, I'm used to doing face-to-face classes, and we are no longer allowed to do that. So it's been a bit of a challenge for me as far as figuring out what to do. That's why, for the first time, I am bringing you a video. Haven't done it yet, but hopefully it turns out. Now, I'm not sure this little piece is going to work right here, and I may end up trimming that off a little bit, but we'll see. So then all you're going to do is take a paper trimmer, and for this I like using my little bit bigger paper trimmer. The little one works great on single things, but when you're cutting so many layers right here, and you're just going to cut all those edge pieces off. And you certainly could use scissors too. You don't have to use a paper trimmer. I just feel like it's easier to get a paper trimmer out and cut them. But you certainly do not have to. You just want to start with your straight edge there. And we'll see what happens here. So last week was my downline meeting. It's always the second Friday of the month, and we did it via Zoom, and we made this card. I had sent out the invite to everybody and told them I needed a response because I was mailing packets in the mail to them. So usually we do a shoebox card exchange, and everybody brings a card and we all make it. And because my team is very small and is local, so we always could still get together until now. So for the first time, we did a Zoom meeting last week, and actually it wasn't that bad. I've had to figure out how to get my phone and my laptop working so that they could see how to make the card. It took me a few minutes, but we did get it figured out. So baby steps. This whole technology stuff is really a lot to learn when you don't know how to do it all. So here's my layers. And this one, like I said, here was the first one I made. I did my layers just a little bit different. And this one I had embossed with the subtle embossing folder on the back. You probably can't, I don't know if you can see that or not. This one I cut different layers just to make it a little bit different. And then we're just going to put that there. So this piece here, again, the stitched layers dies. This one is the third to the biggest, I think. And I cut this one, the gold foil, with the second to the largest. And I always cut, when I'm doing layers, I cut out of the center of the layer and save that piece for something else. Except I forgot to do it on this one, but we won't worry about it. So we are going to attach a piece of old olive ribbon to this piece first. I'm going to put this on the back. Yeah, I think I'll go this way. So our weather here in Washington has been pretty nice this last week. We've had some nice sunny days, which has been really nice. Can't really go anywhere, but we live on acreage, so for us it's been okay. But we've got rain coming in again this next week, which will be good. Can water all my garden area. So we're just going to attach that there. Add our next layers on. And like I said earlier, this is my first video, and I am not going to edit. I know some people do the fancy stuff and edit, and I'm not going to do that. It's going to be raw and exactly how it would be if you were in one of my classes. So hopefully everybody likes it. going to put this here. And then this on top of here. And like I said, normally I would have cut in the center of that. And actually, I already made a mistake. So we're going to huff this off just a little bit. And I'm going to show you where I made my mistake. Got ahead of myself. So we are going to, real quick, stamp our word. And I'm using from a big thank you set. I am just using thank you. I have been making a lot of thank you and hello and those kind of cards right now because I have been doing what I've been calling Mail It Monday. And I've been just going through and sending out cards randomly to 5 people every Monday. And if you want to get a card from me, shoot me an email and I will drop a card in the mail. And my daughter-in-law is a nurse, and they are putting a bunch of cards out at the hospital too. So I used the 1 1/8" scallop punch to punch out the thank you. And the reason I pulled that basic black piece back off, like I said, is I wanted to punch out of the center of that. Now, I can go ahead and lay this back down on here. Normally, I would have die cut a big square or something or a rectangle out of the center of that to use up more of it. But I forgot. But I always like to use the center for something. And if I'm not die cutting or punching out of it, then I will die cut something out of it anyway. And just put it in my drawer and save it for later. So we're going to attach that there. Then we're going to take... put this here, and we're going to grab our Take Your Pick tool, and I'm using the black dimensionals. I really like these when you are layering with a black piece because you don't see the dimensionals as much. Makes it much nicer. Hopefully these carried over from the holiday catalog, so I'm going to assume that they're going to carry over into the annual catalog, but don't know that for sure yet, but hoping, keeping my fingers crossed. I think we're going to put this right here, and it looks like I might have put my ribbon on a little crooked, but we're going to make it work. We're going to put that there, and then we're going to cut just a little piece here for my bow, and then we'll add some bling. So if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be more than happy to be your demonstrator. Just contact me. I will put all my contact info at the bottom of the video. I have a blog, craftiercreations.blogspot.com. You can find me at. I'm also on Facebook at craftiercreationswithdebbie. I'm going to move this just a little bit. Put that right there. This is the Ornate Garden Bling that comes with the new bundle that you can buy right now. It's going to come out in the new catalog, but Stampin' Up! Released it early. So we're just going to put one little bling right there. And that's it. Now, this looks crooked, and I will fix it later. This is our inside piece. I saved some scrap pieces right here to put on the inside of the card. If you have extra, it's a great way to use these pieces up. So we're just going to put, oh yeah, let's put that one there. See, this is why I use the silicone mat. Can't see all of it in the video, but I'm going to put that there. And here, I am butting them up next to each other here. Let's see if we have one more that will work. That one's a little short, so I think I'm just going to keep it at the 2. And I am going to just trim these little pieces off with scissors. And we're going to add this to the inside. And there you go. There's our other finished card. Here was the first one. This piece is laying on there crooked, but I'll fix it. See, I said you're going to see it raw and exactly how it is when I really stamp. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's project. If you have any questions, please let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye.